podcasting. I tell people all the time, like I go to a networking event and I'm talking to like, lawyers, real estate people, whatever industry they're in. They go, why should I have a podcast? I go, a podcast is a voice for your brand or business. A podcast is literally PR for your business. So talk to me about the relationship between public relations and how a podcast can be used in public relations.
Yeah. So the podcast part of PR and what a podcast is. So I think that so much of PR, like I've been saying, is it's free media, and it's kind of how are you telling a story? And I think that's the thing with a podcast is a podcast is telling a story. A podcast is saying, this is what I have, this is what we can provide. And the great thing about a podcast is that you can do it for free. And so a podcast is a way for a company owner to kind of say, this is my story, this is what we're doing, and this is why you should listen to it. And I think that especially with something like a product, people don't really just buy products anymore. People want to know, why am I buying this product? And I think that's why influencer marketing works as well, because there's a story around the product. People are buying into stories now. They're not buying into, I can buy a makeup brush or something. They're asking the story of why, and that's what a podcast is doing. A podcast is telling the story.
Yeah. Have you ever bought something like off that was advertised on a podcast or a YouTube channel?
So I definitely feel like I have. And I was big into the YouTube beauty guru scene back in like 2013. That was like how I kind of got started with building a personal brand around myself. I made makeup videos back in like 2013. And so I definitely started buying products just based on what everyone was telling me to buy. So I definitely think it works. And I feel like I am like a prime example of that it works.
Well, it definitely works. Now, someone was telling me not too long ago that like the buy rate on ads via podcasts is pretty high in comparative to other forms of media. And I'm thinking to myself, why? So then I go, okay, well, what did I buy off a podcast? I bought Raycon earbuds. I needed Bluetooth earbuds, and they're a phenomenal product. I bought like shampoo or a razor for my beard that needs trimming, right? Like stuff like that. But I'm thinking, okay, why did I buy these things? Well, yeah, because it was advertised me on a podcast, but because I trust the person on that podcast. I listen to that person. I feel like I know that person.
100%.
I feel a connection with that person. And that's just, as you say in the business, it's good PR.
Exactly. And I think what is so also that the ad rate on podcasts is so high because I think partially it's due to, so if you're watching a YouTube video, 9 out of 10 times you're able to click the little skip button and skip the ad. And it's so easy and so convenient. And I think that most people listen to podcasts in the car while they're driving. And it is so inconvenient to have to scroll over to your media tab, find like the 30-second skip button, skip through, but you have to listen to some of the ad because you're not going to get it perfect. So I definitely think that's part of it, is that it's something you can't skip through. But I also think that podcasting, because it's something that we've been able to integrate into our lives, it's not as much of a commitment as watching a YouTube video, because it's something like I can just have playing in the background. It's like you really feel like you're becoming friends with that person. You really feel like you're creating a conversation with that person. And so it makes that person seem almost more credible than just watching someone on YouTube.
Yeah, you feel like you trust them.
Exactly.
It's like literally like we're talking right now into this microphone. This is going, like, I'm wearing headphones. If you're wearing headphones, my voice is going straight into your ears, directly into the brain. Like it's a very different form of media. Where if you're watching TV on your phone, you got a pill medication. You got a medication because Big Pharma loves ads on TV. You're not going to buy it because the side effects are going to make you blind, right? Whereas a podcast is like, oh, MeUndies. Well, crap, I kind of need some undies. What do you know?
Yeah.
A promo code, 50% off my first order. Let's do it. Right? It's just, and that's all part of what a podcast can be for a business or a brand. So when you're doing PR,